So what is disposition and how does it affect conflict resolution in a negotiation? Well, to start with, individuals have interests in the negotiation, right? They either have substantive, procedural interests that they're trying to further as part of the negotiation by taking part in the negotiation process, right? Disposition concerns how the individual approaches the negotiation process in general. It's very similar to what their attitude is, but collectively it's overall how they see the negotiation process, their orientation to it, if you will. So what you see here in the slide is a presentation of what we call the dual concern model. And this is a good representation of how many people or the varying degrees to which individuals approach a negotiation or their perception of their negotiation and their ultimate reaction to it, if you will. And we'll call that their disposition coming into the negotiation. And you can look at it in two forms, with two variables. The amount of concern the individual has for themselves in undertaking the negotiation process and the amount of concern that they have for the other person. Right? And that's why this model is the dual concern model. And a high concern for self and a high concern for the other person means that the individual is looking to, in a way, collaborate. That is, so that they can achieve their objectives or interests in the negotiation at the same time that the other person can, hopefully through a level of collaboration, right? If you have high self-concern but low concern for the other, you're primarily concerned as to your own advantage, that is beating the other person in the negotiation. That's a competitive disposition or orientation coming into the negotiation. A moderate level of both of these factors for self and concern for the other person would be more of a compromising type individual, one who's looking to give up something in the way of their interest for the other person to achieve some of their interest and hopefully then come to a resolution in whatever conflict exists. Low concern for self, but high concern for the other person. That means the person's going to give up their own interest in order to accommodate the interests, needs, or wants of the other person in the negotiation. And then there's avoiding. Someone who has low self-concern, low concern for the others. They're not even going to take part in the negotiation process very regularly. They're going to do their best to avoid the process itself from the very beginning, so very reticent to take part at all. Now, all of these can be seen again as a disposition. As we'll talk about in later videos, a negotiation strategy is generally made up of your orientation, then your plan, together with objectives that you hope to achieve in the negotiation, and then the individual tactics that you're going to use to achieve those individual objectives. So taken together between the planned objectives, the orientation, and the tactics, that's part of your strategy. And that's the way that disposition plays a role, again, in the conflict resolution process of negotiation.